Taking care of yourself physically and mentally are important in maintaining good health. And that's why Eastern Michigan University is offering a creative outlet to help people practice self-care. And joining us this morning is workshop facilitator, clinical social worker, and local poet, David Boeing. And we also have English professor, director of EMU's Office of Campus and Community Writing, and co-founder of WXYZ-TV. We have Ann Blakesley with us. Good morning to you both. Thank you both so much for spending some time with us this morning to shed light on an important topic. Let's talk first. Let's talk about this partnership between WXYZ-TV and Washtenaw County Health Department's Wellness Program and what you're offering through the program. But first, I guess, David, let's start with you and talk to us about that partnership.
Yeah, so we started collaborating with Wish You Knew Washtenaw about a year ago, and kind of as a team, our team met with their team, and we came up with three main kind of focal points or things to offer. So we're making worksheets that we're distributing around Ypsilanti, and those will offer a kind of mental wellness topic like gratitude, and then some prompts to write about it. Prompts on social media, so a kind of shorter, more concise prompt. And then a big point is the workshops where we pair a kind of writing like autobiography with a kind of self-care practice or self-care in general.
And Anne, so what can you tell us is the correlation between writing and mental health, and how are these workshops beneficial?
There are so many correlations. Writing is really a important form of expression for people and allows people to sort of process what they're thinking about, to articulate and give words to their thoughts and emotions. A big component of what we're doing is really helping people to think about the feelings they have and to write about those in ways that are productive for them and help them really express and get at perhaps what's bothering them. And the prompts that we provide and the workshops, we have one workshop that has become very popular on autobiography and thinking about writing about your own life experiences and significant events in your life in a way that really helps you to think back on them and also to move forward in productive ways. So it's been a really wonderful pairing of writing and mental wellness for us.
It really is. And David, we'll go back to you. Who is the program serving? I mean, are there certain age groups, certain people, demographics, or is this really to kind of speak to everybody?
Yeah, we're really hoping to speak to everybody. We've seen at our workshops individuals of all ages, and we're hoping to kind of continue expanding that. And that's a big part of the collaboration with Wish You Knew Washtenaw, because they really focus on youth voices. And so, yeah, we're trying to serve everyone.
And I know there's a lot, Anne, of stressors, but what are some of the key things that people are kind of going through and having to sort of navigate? This at this point, what are some of the key stressors that people are facing that you've seen?
I think there's a lot of anxiety out there that really sort of increased during the pandemic, and people have carried that forward just in terms of what's going on in the world and around us. And also just a lot of conflict between people, unfortunately. And these are ways for people to come into a really safe space. In our workshops, for example, there's a lot of sharing of writing. And I think that's very healthy for people to understand that they're not alone in these feelings as well. And there's a lot of depression out there also.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many key factors. It feels like social media is a big influence on this now, too, as that has just evolved over the years. And David, what do you think that this will evolve to, and what are your future plans for this initiative? Do you see it continuing to develop?
Yeah, the plan is to continue running workshops of various kinds every year, to continue putting out worksheets monthly within the community. We have lots of other plans, including a kind of daily summer camp for teens, where they would come and learn about an emotion each day, do a bunch of writing around it, and then go back to their own schools and kind of teach the workshops themselves. I have an idea for a kind of a like TED Talk, where we have a kind of greatest hits of writing from the program. Yeah, lots of stuff moving forward.
I love everything you guys are doing. We've got the information up on the screen as well, and we really appreciate your time. Workshop facilitator, clinical social worker, and local poet, David Boeing, and English professor, director of EMU's Office of Campus and Community Writing, and co-founder of WXYZ-TV, Ann Blakesley. Thank you both so much for your time this morning.
Thank you for having us. We appreciate it.
Of course.